Hi, and welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Pastor Paul Steele from Bethlehem Church in Austin, Minnesota. The Bottom Line is our weekly summary of the previous Sunday's sermon. And we are in this sermon series called Come Follow Me as we talk about what it means to follow Jesus, to be a disciple of Jesus by studying the book of Mark. On Sunday, we were in Mark chapter 15, verses 16 through 39. And here we read about the crucifixion of Jesus. And usually when we talk about the crucifixion of Jesus, we talk about how Jesus' death on the cross was the atoning sacrifice for our sins. You see, when we sin against God, we commit treason against him and against his kingdom. And as traitors, what do we deserve? We deserve death. And so what Jesus' death on the cross does is that it offers us the opportunity to have our sins washed away, to cleanse us, to make us right with God again. But Mark wants to add to that reality a different perspective, or a new perspective. Mark's purpose in writing his narrative, his biography of Jesus, was to write a gospel about Jesus. And the word gospel for Mark's readers meant something very specific. It meant good tidings, good news about the empire, particularly good tidings about the emperor. And so when Mark starts his narrative about Jesus with, this is the beginning of the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, he wants us to understand something very important. And so when Mark writes his account of the crucifixion, he writes it to line up with what it would look like for Caesar to be coronated as emperor. Mark wants us to understand that by Jesus going to the cross, by Jesus dying on the cross, he is crowned King of Kings, Lord of Lords. And so in verse 39 of Mark chapter 15, he has the Roman centurion who had watched many people die say this, truly this was the Son of God. The title Son of God was reserved, especially during this time, was reserved for the emperor. Mark wants us to know that God's kingdom is coming into this world, came into this world through Jesus, through his death, and Jesus is the king of that kingdom. And what does that mean for us? Well, it means that it means that God's kingdom is different from the kingdoms of this world. That it comes in not through military might and victory and violence, but it comes through love and sacrifice and service. It also means that as Jesus' followers, we are to bear our cross. We are to follow him. And that requires us to sacrifice. To bear our cross doesn't just mean that we're going to have difficulties in this life. No, it means that we need to lay down our lives, our agendas, our dreams, our rights, in order to love, to serve those around us. And so the crucifixion of Jesus shows that he truly is the King of the world. And our big idea from Sunday is this: the death of Jesus on the cross is the very foundation of the gospel. It is the very foundation of this good news about God's kingdom coming into this world. And our challenge this week is to think about how we can sacrifice for the kingdom. We need to ask ourselves that question: how can I sacrifice for the kingdom? What do I need to give up so I can help build this kingdom, that I can follow in the footsteps of Jesus? Hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of Bethlehem. Remember, you can join us every Sunday morning at 10:30 on Facebook, YouTube, better yet, if you're here in Austin, right here next to Ellis Middle School. If there's a prayer request you'd like me to pray about, send me a note. I'd be glad to add you to my list. And if you want to support the work that we're doing here in Austin, you go to our website, BethlehemChurchAustin.com, follow the Give tab, and that's one way you can help support us in carrying the gospel out here in Austin, Minnesota. Now, I want to remind you that we have Good Friday service this Friday at 7 o'clock when we again meditate on the death, the crucifixion of Jesus, and the implications that has for our lives. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of the week, and God bless.